This is my Tomos Puch Special, which I've been building for about 5 years now. And it's called a Special because it's a Puch Magnum frame. It's been modified to fit all Tomos A3 running gear, so it's forks, wheels, engine, swing arm, and saddle. Now this is also a Tomos Special, although I didn't build this one, and I don't know who did. However, whoever did a very good job of it, because when a friend of mine sent me photos of it at the Newark Auto Jumble recently, I thought it was the real deal and was some kind of Tomos product that perhaps we didn't get in the UK. It's got A3 forks, 12 volt A3 engine, 85 onwards, and an A3 swing arm. It's also got an A3 engine mounting bracket. Now, as luck would have it, my friend actually bought it from the Newark Auto Jumble, and then he gave me the opportunity to buy it off him, which is quite useful because he only lives 2 miles up the road from me, which is a lot closer than Newark. It also gave me the opportunity to look at it in person and then check all the areas on the frame to see if it had been modified to fit Tomos running gear, like I had to do with this bike, or if it was generally a factory-built model. So the first thing I checked here was this headstock tube, because the Tomos forks are a lot longer than the ones that are fitted to mini bikes, and so you have to extend it to fit the Tomos forks properly. Now this one has had a piece welded to the bottom of it, although it's a larger diameter, and it looks like it was done initially for the lock stops to still work. So the next thing I checked was the engine mount, because this is one area I had an issue with, modifying the Puch Magnum frame to fit the A3 engine, because even though both the Maxi engine and the A3 engine share some common dimensions, which is the position of the front engine mount and the lower one, the middle ones are slightly different, and also the Maxi ones are wider apart, so you have to shim the engine to get it to line up with the chain. Now on this, they've used an A3 bracket, which I kind of reasoned maybe if it is a factory built one, Tomos would have had a surplus of these from making A3s and A35s, so maybe it made it easier to make the frame, but then it would also have made it easier for somebody else to modify an existing frame by welding one in. And it's also got an A3 foot peg bracket as well, although it's been shortened quite a bit. So again, I think from the factory, to me, they probably would have used it the same length. They've also cut the mounting bracket down there as well. So it was kind of like 50-50 at this point, whether this was genuine or not. Now, I've said before that one of the hardest things to do when building a custom bike is make sure all the parts, even if they're from different bikes, fit like they belong there. And on this bike, the part that didn't belong was this rear sprocket here. It's a 22 tooth. Not only did it draw my attention because it's been bolted on with M10 bolts, not M7 ones, and they've been spot welded to the sprocket. Also, you wouldn't have a sprocket this small on a kid's off-road bike. They're usually around about a 28 or a 31 tooth one. I know that from experience because I've had a Super Tom and a Tomos Tomcat which had similar size wheels to this and the same engine as this. Okay, so those of you that are really into your Italian mini bikes will probably already know what this bike used to be, and I must admit I should have done as well because I've actually owned one of these bikes in the past, but in my defense mine was missing the tank, so it didn't give me an indication of what it was. And so until I removed the tank did I recognise the frame, and a quick Google search confirmed it, and it was this lock stop here that kind of gave the confirmation, because this is for a different set of forks, not the Tomos ones. This is actually an Italjet JC50 frame. The top tubes are quite close together, unlike the Magnum, which are further apart, although it has got a bottom tube like the Magnum, and it does curve down in the same place like the Magnum, but yeah, definitely Italjet. Okay, so as much as I like the look of the bike, it's a bit small for me, and my kids are not particularly interested in this kind of thing. So my plan is really to break it for spares. If it had been some kind of obscure factory original, I'd be restoring it. But to me, it's actually worth more as parts, particularly all the Tomos ones, obviously. But also then I can actually sell off the Italjet parts and to kind of, you know, get some money back for actually buying it in the first place, as well as invest that money in parts on my Tomos projects. So I'll be keeping the engine, the forks. This engine mounting bracket is going to come in very handy on a future project that I won't tell you about just yet, no spoilers. And the swing arm is also going to come in very handy. I quite like the saddle though, I don't know if I can keep that or not. But these controls as well, by the way, are also Tomos, so I'm going to be keeping these too. So I hope you find this video interesting on my old and new Tomos specials. And remember to please like and subscribe, and take care. I'll see you again soon.